But for only 2 years, the new format of home and away matches has been played.
The USA would sure love to bring home another Fed Cup title, and with the help of and participation of Monica Seles, I think it's a very achievable dream. Seles at the net, making a stab volley. Couldn't do very much with it, and Sugiyama had her choice of shots. Got the line. Ace from Seles takes her total winners to 15. She has served well today.
Monica Seles evens things here in the second set. Well, if you can't get a deep breath after Euro 96, how about taking a timeout for soccer? It's Brazil versus the world tomorrow at 3 p.m. on ESPN2. Defending World Cup champions Brazil taking on the FIFA World All-Stars. Sugiyama to Seles. Boy, that was some fun, wasn't it? The World Cup soccer. Germany winning it all.
Yeah.
We were in England, both of us at the time. Oh, boy. That was really something. Japanese players that we are showing you from time to time: Kamiko Date, Naoko Sawamatsu, and Kyoko Nagatsuka. Captain of the Japanese team is Toshiro Sakai.
Naoko Sawamatsu has been the player in recent years that has played singles along with Kamiko Date, but Sawamatsu has lost 4 times to Monica Seles. Sugiyama has never played Seles, and Sugiyama is ranked higher right now than Sawamatsu. That wasn't the case at the beginning of the year.
There's Captain Sakai, and sometimes, I mean, you've got to decide on your players the week and how they're practicing, too.
Well, Sugiyama has just been playing very well, has an awful lot of confidence. And is currently ranked higher than Naoko Sawamatsu. Sawamatsu started the year at number 17. She's now 32. And with tennis like this, Ai Sugiyama has gone from number 44 to her highest ever at number 24.
Well, she's had a good year as you take a look at Kamiko Date again. As you mentioned earlier, but it might be worthwhile mentioning again as she hit this shot down the line for another winner that she took out Anka Huber and Helena Sukova at Wimbledon before Mary Jo Fernandez sidelined it. But it was a 3-setter.
2 good wins, too, because Helena Sukova had just gotten to the finals of Rosmalen the week before on grass, losing to Anka Huber.
And Huber got to the final of the Australian.
Right. Anka Huber in that match against Ai Sugiyama at Wimbledon, though, had some kind of a stomach flu and was obviously and definitely not feeling well, but Sugiyama still had to win the match.
These two are just banging this ball at each other.
Well, Sugiyama is a player who also likes pace, and she's getting plenty of it from Celis, and that's one of the few points that Sugiyama has outplayed Celis at her own game. Good comeback for Sugiyama. She was down love 30 in this game.
Well, that's a terrific shot. The Japanese crowd of 7,000 will enjoy that, and they do. Players will change ends on serve. Second set, it's 2-1. First set to Celis of the USA. Celis 6-2 first set. Sugiyama leading 2-1. Celis will serve at the semifinal in Japan of the Fed Cup. Sold out crowd for this Fed Cup semifinal. 1963, 60 nations played. In 1996, a record 94 are competing. They're divided into different divisions. This is the world group, and there's group number 1, another 8 nations, and then the others all are in qualifying competitions to try to get into these elite groups. And the U.S. has been the most successful Fed Cup team, Betsy.
They sure have. They've been in the Fed Cup finals 22 times, winning at 14. But the USA has not won Fed Cup since 1990. The USA has been in the last 3 finals.
Sugiyama is not intimidated at all, is she? She's playing the number 1 player in the world, and she is walking around like she thinks she can win this game.
Well, she looks as though she's gotten a feel and an understanding of the way Celis plays and is very comfortable with it. Look how early she's trying to take the ball and where she's trying to take this return of serve. Well inside the baseline.
That's wide. It's barely wide.
Net cord. And just pushed it wide. That was a big point.
Two games all in the second set. Monica Seles and Ai Sugiyama both debuting in singles. Monica Seles debuting period. She's never played for the USA before. So this is a day that she says that is very important to her.
That's usually what Monica Seles does to her opponents. Just robs your opponent of time when you take the ball that early. Seles is happy to be playing her first Fed Cup tie. She's lived in the USA since she was just 10 years old. Officially became a U.S. citizen in March of '94.
During the Lipton Championships, I remember it well. In spite of the fact that Sugiyama is being as aggressive as she can, still Monica Seles' numbers are more impressive.
She's got more winners, 16 to 11 winners for Sugiyama. Pretty close and unforced errors, one more for Seles.
Wayne McEwen is in the chair for today's match. He's from Australia. Still game point.
A little over anxious, but I really do think that Sugiyama is trying to do the right thing tactically. She's got Seles on the defensive, and she's trying to take this ball out of the air. So a couple of game points squandered. It's back to deuce.
One hand. And that sails long, so here's a break point for Monica Seles. Don't you think that the fear factor doesn't work for Seles as much as it used to do before that appalling stabbing 3 years ago, Beth, because she has been beaten a few times, and the rest of the players know now that she can be beaten. Monica Seles gets the break. First blood in the second set. She leads with the break 3-2. She won the first 6-2. Billie Jean King is very happy. 6-2 first set. Monica Seles 3-2 with a break in the second. She's about to serve. We're in Nagoya, Japan, for the semifinal of the Fed Cup. USA leading it so far by 1 match to none. Lindsay Davenport taking out Kamiko Date, Japan's top player. A big surprise. It was an easy win for Davenport.
You know, Cliff, you were talking about Seles and just how dominant she was as a player before the stabbing. You just look over her numbers, they're staggering. I mean, in her 6th tournament of her life, she was only 15 years old. was her first Grand Slam event. She got to the semifinals of the French Open.
Hadn't she already beat Chris Evert in Houston before that?
That was her first tournament win. That was only the fourth tournament of her life.
But then go on, tell us more.
She cracked the top 10 in 1 year.
Yeah.
And she became #1 in the world in 1991, and she held on to that until 1993. And that was a couple of months after the stabbing. Steffi Graf became #1, but in all of 1991, Monica Seles got to every single final that she played. She won 10 of them. 1992, she got to every single final that she played except one. Won 10 tournaments that year. And in 1993, only played in 3 tournaments before the incident in Hamburg. And she won 2 of those 3, reaching every final. She just so rarely lost to anybody that she shouldn't have.
30-15. Which is why, Betsy, you know, every time people talk about Steffi Graf and maybe being the best of all time, I keep hopping back to the stabbing.
It's just so good there. I mean, in her whole career, Monica Seles has lost only 35 tennis matches, and only 9 of those were to players ranked outside of the top 10. And she has also won 9 of the last 10 points right here.
Game point. So Monica Seles maintains the lead with a break in the second set. 4-2. She won the first 6-2. Damon Hill looking to extend his lead in the World Driving Champion point standings, going for his 7th win in 10 races tomorrow on ESPN2 at 8:45 a.m. It is the Formula One Grand Prix of Great Britain. Love 15. I tell you, Great Britain has seen some competition. Soccer, Euro 96 this year. British Open golf underway, and soon Wimbledon. Golf starting next week. Been a sporting smorgasbord over there. It's crunch time for Japan. Down 1 match. And Sugiyama's in real trouble. Oh, boy. That makes it even worse. 3 break points for an insurance second break in the second set. Seles won the first. Another look.
Punishing ground strokes. And finally, a point for Sugiyama.
There's the second break for the USA's Monica Seles in the semifinal of the Fed Cup in Japan. She leads at 1-0 and 5-2 now. 1996 Fed Cup semifinals. It's the USA versus Japan. Monica Seles for the USA. She won the first set behind 2 breaks of serve. She has 2 breaks in the second. She leads by 5 games to 2. She's serving for the match, and that would and will, if it happens, put the USA up by 2 matches to none. It's a best 5-match series. 2 singles matches today, 2 singles matches tomorrow, and then a doubles tomorrow.
Marcellus has won 15 of the last 17 points.
First double fault, 15 all. Never say die. Really, this crowd are not giving up. There's virtually no chance of coming back against the co-number 1 player in the world. But they are still very lively here in Nagoya. The Rainbow Hall. And 2 break points.
15-14.
Well, a double fault turned things around a little bit in this game for Sugiyama. She's put together a couple of good points. This is just her 2nd break chance. She's only held 1 break point previous to this. And that was back in Sellis's first service game. What a time for a big serve. Players get an awful lot of confidence when they earn themselves a point off a big first serve.
Match point now for the USA.
Monica would have to feel very happy with the way she served out here today and played off the ground, but the serve has set things up nicely for her.
So Monica Seles, as you said, will look back with some pleasure on this match. I think that's it. She served well. Her ground strokes are very solid, and she really was not given any trouble by Ai Sugiyama of Japan.
No, I think in her debut effort playing Fed Cup in a team situation, she's happy to get through against a player that's been playing well and the one that she obviously respects. But Seles came